Hope this second time it's working. I have again my left monitor here on my left side, obviously. So this is why I keep looking here because they kept saying, okay, so now I'm live, finally, perfect. Because so for a couple of seconds here, it kept saying I'm going live, but it didn't go live. But anyways, so what's up with this show? But first, let me present myself. My name is Remus, and this is Advertising Tuesdays with me, obviously, your down-to-earth guru host. You'll see the landing page for this show around this week. Sometimes it's gonna be finished, but this is one of those shows that I have been asked to do for quite a while now, because I've been in this advertising industry for well over 4 years, and people have asked me a couple of questions here and there, and they always told me like, hey, you should do a marketing course, or you should do a show, or you should do an inner circle or something like that. And my response, having an advertising agency, was, well, I don't really have time for that, but I finally made the time. Okay, I'm not just looking because Facebook just gave me some alert here, just their stuff, doesn't really matter. Cool. So what I was saying is, this show is specifically for small business owners or advertising / marketing passionates who want direct answers to their most pressing questions. I know this wasn't actually announced anywhere. A couple of people from my clients know about this show, or the fact that it was an upcoming thing for me, but they didn't have didn't have time to ask me any questions. So you have time right now. You can just leave it in the comment section. I will see it here on my left screen. And starting today, for next week, for next month, because this is gonna be a weekly show, you can send me questions via text. I'll leave you my phone number. You can send me text via email. It's remus@vargasdigital.us, or you can always reply to any of my emails because I read them all. You can text me. Already said that, I guess, but whatever. Double text me, and you can send me messages on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever suits you best. Like, I don't care. I'm here to answer your questions. So whatever suits you best, right? Also, again, I'm just trying this Facebook thing. They're popping up with errors like all over the place. So, okay, whatever. Hopefully it works. Just let me know if something is broken, because you should see my beautiful face right here, like non-redneck at all, like in this hoodie. By the way, this is like this red t-shirt here. It's like Christmas t-shirt, like, so just so you know, but I'm just rocking it now, but I'll show it to you later when Christmas is around the corner. Okay, cool. So let me get to the questions, because I've got, even if it was like on short notice, I've got like a couple of questions from some of my clients, so I want to share them with you. So let's start. Ron asks, what's the best tracking setup right now? That's a good question, and especially given the fact that Apple has changed things with their iOS 14.5 update, now with the iOS 15 update, we have less tracking options, dude. So I would say, first of all, I would actually split into two types of businesses or advertisers: those who spend under 20K a month, and those who spend above 20K a month. So if you're spending above $20,000 a month, the best approach from what I could see is to use a tool like Hyros, Wicked Reports, probably even Segmetrics. But from my experience, it's either Hyros or Wicked Reports who are doing a pretty good job. Like Wicked Reports, it's a bit cheaper. It's like $600 a month, whereas with Hyros you can you'll just pay way more because it's per ad spend, and at least this is my understanding of how that works. But Wicked Reports is definitely good. You could use that. That would account for like, so first of all, I want to clear this. There's no tool out there or setup or whatever that will make your ads behave like it was before the iOS update, right? There's like just impossible. But those tools give you like, I would say like an 80% the accuracy like it was before the update, right? So that's that. Or if you're not using, if you're not spending, more than 20K a month, you could go with a simpler setup. We use this for some of our clients and it really works amazing. It's gonna account for like 60% of the whole conversions. So it's not bulletproof, but it still gives you enough data in order to play with the ads and scale a bit until you get to the 20K a month barrier, right? So for this setup, I would use, this is what we use, Google Analytics with UTM parameters sent from Facebook. So you always send the UTM parameters, you set it up in Facebook and you track it in Google Analytics. If you want to see how that's done, just ask me here on the show and I'll make a video around that. We can talk about in the next live. So you have the UTM parameters, you have the KPI installed, which can be done with a partner integration from inside Facebook. You can custom build it. There are like various ways you can do that. And there's also the third thing you have to do is you have to upload offline conversions to Facebook. Again, if you have no idea how that's done, just let me know and we can talk during the next live video about that. And if you have these three combined, you'll pretty much account for like, let's say probably even up to 70% of your conversions will be accounted for. So that's totally fine. You could go for that. Hope this answers your question, Ron. And now we're going to Michelle. Hey Michelle, I really love working on your funnel, by the way. Michelle's from Boston. She's a real cool gal. She is doing some custom made soap, which is pretty cool. We've built a funnel for her. But anyway, out of the scope of this Q&A. How would you increase foot traffic to a yoga studio? What ads would you run? Billboards. Okay, I wasn't expecting this actually, because probably it's for a friend or something, because I didn't read the questions before, so it's funny how I just told you, hey Michelle, this pretty cool girl from Boston, she's doing soap and all that. I was pretty much promoting her on this live, right? And then she comes throwing a yoga question at me. I'm like, okay, come on, man. Okay, so how would you increase foot traffic to a yoga studio? What ads would you run? Would you run billboards? So billboards, not so much until you get enough advertising budget. So I would just cut that out. Plus, I'm not a huge fan of billboards for businesses like a yoga studio, right? Or neither am I like for I don't like, let's say, bus ads or like those ads that you see on in bus stops. Like, I'm not a huge fan of those, right? Even though Boston has great public transportation, and you could argue that yes, placing ads in certain locations that lead to the yoga studio would make a good I don't really like it. Okay, so I would definitely run video and lead ads. What I mean by that, so I would make a cool video with an iPhone at the yoga studio, just capturing what happens there on a daily basis. Like, this is how clients come in, this is the class or the classes if you have several, because I'm not sure how I'm not really accustomed to yoga classes. And then you could also do a video, hey, this is, I assume, a friend of Michelle, and I'm teaching yoga here at this place, and you should come visit. It's super cool and fun, and you'll get a discount. So this is a video views campaign on Facebook. And then I would retarget those people with a lead ad, like, hey, have you seen the yoga studio? Now, if you sign up here, you get a 20% discount, 10% discount, whatever, something. You give them a voucher, right? In exchange for their name, email address, and phone. So you're gonna call them and say, hey, or you can just offer them a free first class. That's that's great. We do this for Pilates Studio actually, and it works amazingly well. So you give them a first free class, or like you can give them a huge discount, like 80% or whatever. You get them inside a class, they like it, and you pitch them like in person, right? And if they don't buy, you still have their email address, so you can follow up via email with them, which is super important, guys. Like the follow up, it's the money is in the follow up, so do not forget to follow up with your clients. Okay, let me go to my next question. I'm always looking in the comment section, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Is your revenue mostly from, this is Andy, is your revenue mostly from info products, from coaching, or from agency stuff? Which one do you prefer? That's a good question, and it's pretty easy for me to answer. I like all of them for different reasons. I like the agency stuff, like running ads for other people, building funnels for other people. Because I get to get together with my team to lead them and to create something beautiful and to help in their business. I like the coaching part because I get to work with the owner, usually on one-on-one. I get to work with them one-on-one, so that's cool. And I also like the info products part because I can reach more people. Most of the revenue right now comes from the agency stuff because that's where I put most of my focus on, and that's what I wanted to scale. That's what I started to scale in the first place. So that's why my revenue is coming from the agency stuff. Oh, side note, if you're wondering why I keep looking here, it's because I'm streaming from my iPhone and my webcam is up there, but I have an iMac, and like iMacs have shitty webcams, man, so I don't want that. What's your approach when Michael asks, what's your approach when dealing with small audiences from small cities? Well, that's a really good question, Michael. Let me think. Let me sip this in for a second here. So, small city, small audience, right? So, just let me get my iPad real quick. I'll share my iPad screen. I'll mirror it to my iMac. Please let me know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. So, what I would do is the following. So let's say this is your shop. This is Mike's shop. Perfect. Excuse your handwriting. Perfect. And you have these audiences, like some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but most of them probably are smaller, as you said, because it's a small city after all. So all of them are audiences. Typically, what I would suggest, like let's say these are interested in fitness, this in burgers, whatever, like yoga, because Michelle asked, I don't know, marketing, I mean, you name it, right? So different audiences, different sizes for each, and I'm pretty sure I've done this the wrong way. Like, there are definitely more people interested in burgers than in marketing. Not that it would matter that much, but anyway. Okay, so what I would typically suggest is, hey Mike, just go target each of these audiences with an ad, with the same ad actually, right? So target them, small budget, probably like $5 a day on each, and after a couple of days, like let's say after 4 days, you see which of these audiences are performing the best, and then you cut the losers and you scale the winners, right? So that's what I would typically suggest. But in this case, when this is a small city and you do not have the room to play with this, like probably this audience has like 2,000 people in it, this one has like, let's say 20,000 people, but chances are the people, if it's a small city, people in this audience are inside this audience as well. So most of this audience have most likely an 80% common ground. So what I would do, I would just put them inside the same pool. So I would target everyone inside that city, but I would make my message very clear. So for example, if you want a yoga studio like Michelle's friend, I would say something along the lines of, let me see if I can, okay, stop the ring. So I would say something along the lines of, this is, I have free yoga class. This is for you if you love yoga, or something like that. Or if you have a pizza place, hey, pizza lovers in Newport, this is for you. Something along the lines of, this is called actually a dog whistle copy. I think it's Dan Kennedy who pinpointed this name. I'm not really sure, and I don't want to. I'm honestly, I have no idea. I've learned this from Frank Kern, the dog whistle copy. This is what it is. You call those people out, like, hey, pizza lovers, hey, yoga lovers. So I would target the whole city, and I would just call them out. Long explanation for short question. Okay, and the last question that I got today, told you guys there weren't a lot of questions because it wasn't a short notice. This is the people I could get a hold of, and they were nice enough to send me these questions. And Anne asks, what are your thoughts on classic advertising versus social media advertising? So, I mean, she didn't continue to explain what classic advertising means, but I would assume she means what we discussed earlier about Michelle, like billboards, bus stop ads, probably like ads inside a taxi or above a taxi, like Times Square ads, right? Ads like that. So I would say those type of ads work. They definitely work, but I consider them more awareness ads. So I don't think I ever called because of a billboard ad. That billboard ad made me remember the guy or the business or the girl or whatever. And then I called because I've seen them on Facebook advertising to me. So let's say there's a lawyer and there's like, I don't know, like fender bender lawyer, whatever, you name it, right? So there's this type of lawyer. I see him all around highways as I'm driving, but I never call, right? And then I remember his name when I have that problem, because chances are like I'm never going to bump into someone near his billboard. But if he also advertises on Facebook, I may see him just when I need it. When I need one. Why? Because I'm on Facebook, I'm actively searching for one, so he retargets me. So yeah, that's one thing. But I feel like I'm just getting away from the question itself here. I would always start with social media advertising, like the new type of advertising, the new kid in town, and that's for a simple reason. That's simply because it's way cheaper, like video views ads, for example, which are engagement ads, which are like a brand awareness ad, like a billboard. They can get, like, it can cost you 1 cent for someone to view your ad for 15 or 20 seconds, which is crazy. Like you get to get someone's attention for 15 seconds for 1 cent. Well, a billboard costs way more than that, I can guarantee, because like from the tens of thousands of people that drive down that I-20 every single day, probably just a couple or a handful just look at your billboard, and even those probably look past it, right? So, or through it, whatever. So I would say start with social media advertising. I'm a huge fan of social media advertising, obviously. And then as you expand and as you go further down the road, like you have tens of thousands of dollars a month in advertising budget, you can put some of those into classic advertising, paper ads, newspaper ads, bus stop ads, billboards, TV ads, whatever, and find a way to measure the ROI from those mediums, because it's super hard otherwise to tell if it worked or not. I'm gonna give you two ways you can measure that. So if you have a steady, let's say on average you get 100 new customers every single month, and that's has been the norm for the past year or so. So you can say with certainty that you'll be getting, due to your social media ads, 100 customers this month. So this month you'll start running some newspaper ads and you'll be getting, let's say, 125 customers, and let that continue for another 2 months. And after 3 months, if that's the case, you know what's the ROI. You've got 25 new customers from the newspaper ads, and you've spent, I don't know how much, whatever, and you just divide it, make sure like it's cost effective compared to social media, and you can continue that. The biggest mistake I see here is people trying to diversify too fast. I mean, that's mistake number one, so they run out of money. And mistake number two, it's when they diversify, even if they have the money, they go after newspapers, they go after TV, they go after billboards, and they have no idea where all those people come from, because they've just advertised on 4 or 5 new mediums at one time. So it's very hard for them to track back where those people came from, right? So, yep, that being said, this concludes the first episode of Advertising Tuesdays. As I told you, this is a show in which I'm answering your most pressing questions when it comes to advertising. And you can ask me those questions live during this show, which takes place every Tuesday at 12 p.m. EDT, or this is like the Eastern time. Like if you live in Miami, if you live in New York, this is 12 p.m. for you. Or if you live in California, for example, it's gonna be 9 a.m. So you can send me an email, reply to my emails, send me a text, send me a message here on Facebook, send me an Instagram message, and I'll make sure to get answers to as many people as I can. Or if you want, you can join me live every Tuesday and you can ask me your questions live. My name is Rimas, and until next time, take care, guys.